Ever feel like you're drowning in data? Like it's just an ocean of numbers and you're barely staying afloat.
Happens to the best of us.
But what if I told you we can turn that feeling of drowning into, I don't know, maybe more like surfing?
Yeah, you're talking. Ride that wave.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. Data Analytics 101. And get this, our trusty guide is an episode, same name actually, from the CloudBenders podcast.
Those folks know their stuff.
Right. And even though they were like focusing on how businesses use data, the cool thing is that the ideas totally apply to, well, pretty much anything.
Totally. Data is data, right?
Okay, so the CloudBenders folks, they break down data analytics into 4 main types. Think of it like having different tools in a toolbox.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
Where I have the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So first up, we've got descriptive analytics. It's the most straightforward. It just tells you what happened. Like, hey, we sold this many widgets last month. Simple, right?
Yep. Just the facts, ma'am.
Then we've got diagnostic analytics. This one's like putting on your detective hat. It tries to figure out why something happened. So not just we sold this many widgets, but did we sell more widgets because we ran that new ad campaign?
Digging a little deeper.
Now, here's where it gets really cool, predictive analytics. It's like having a crystal ball, sort of.
It tries to predict the future.
Yeah. It looks at past data to spot trends and patterns and then uses that info to make educated guesses about what might happen next.
Powerful stuff.
And finally, there's prescriptive analytics, which is all about, like, taking action.
Right, so it goes a step further and says, okay, based on what we know, here's what you should do.
Exactly. So it's not just about understanding the data. It's about, like, using those insights to make better decisions to actually do something.
Totally. It's like data is only useful if you actually, use it.
They gave this really cool example in the episode about an online store. Imagine you see a huge spike in sales for, like, I don't know, these really cool socks with llamas on them.
Everybody loves a good llama sock.
Right. So descriptive analytics, it would just show you the spike. Like, boom, look at all these llama socks flying off the virtual shelves. But then you bring in diagnostic analytics.
Which would be like, okay, why are these socks suddenly so popular?
And it might find that, oh, it's because of that hilarious new ad campaign you launched on, what's the one with all the funny animal videos?
You mean TikTok?
Yes, TikTok. But it doesn't stop there. Predictive analytics comes in and says,
hold on, how long is this llama sock craze going to last? Is it a fad, or is this the start of, like, a whole llama sock empire?
And then prescriptive analytics swoops in with advice like,
hey, if you want to keep up with this llama love, maybe you should think about, like, ordering more llama socks.
Boom! Actionable advice. I love it. So much better than just staring at a spreadsheet full of numbers.
Way more fun. It's like every data point is a piece of a puzzle.
And the right type of data analytics helps you put those pieces together.
Exactly. You start seeing the bigger picture, the story behind the numbers.
So let's say someone's listening to this right now and they're thinking, okay, this is cool and all, but how do I actually get started with data analytics? What's step 1?
Well, the CloudBenders made a great point about this. They said, and I'm paraphrasing here, don't get lost in the weeds before you know what you're even looking for. Start with the problem, not the data itself.
So, like, don't just dive into a giant spreadsheet without knowing what question you're trying to answer.
Exactly. Figure out what you want to know first.
Yeah.
Then you can worry about finding the right data to answer that question.
It's like, don't just start baking a cake without knowing if you even like cake, right?
Exactly. Once you've got your question, then you can start exploring different tools and techniques for analyzing your data.
Speaking of tools, they mentioned a few in the episode, like Python and Tableau. I gotta be honest, I'm still trying to figure those out myself.
Yeah, those are some of the more powerful tools in the data analytics toolbox. Python is a programming language that's great for crunching massive data sets, and Tableau helps you create those really cool visualizations like charts and graphs that make data easier to understand.
Visuals are so helpful. It's one thing to look at a bunch of numbers, but when you see it all laid out in a graph...
It just clicks, right? But, the thing is, don't get too caught up in all the fancy tools if you're just getting started.
It's like having a fancy sports car when you don't even have your driver's license yet.
Exactly. Focus on understanding the fundamentals first. Learn how to ask the right questions, how to clean and organize your data, and how to choose the right analysis techniques for the job. Once you have a good grasp of the basics, then you can start exploring more advanced tools.
Love it. So, to bring it all back, data analytics, it's about using the right tool for the job. It's about asking the right questions.
And ultimately, it's about uncovering the stories that are hidden within your data. Stories that can help you make better decisions, improve your work, and maybe even change the world. Who knows?
That's what I'm talking about. Data-driven world domination. I like the sound of that. But in all seriousness, what you said about stories, that really resonates with me.
It's true. Every data set has a story to tell.
And with the right tools and a little bit of know-how, we can all become data storytellers. So as we wrap things up here, I want to leave you with this. What hidden stories might your data be waiting to tell?
Good one.
Thanks for diving into the data with us today. Until next time.